Hello everyone, this is Nilesh here once again. This video is second part of Java reflection tutorial. In the last part, we seen that Java.class file not only contains the bytecode but also contains the information, also contains the metadata about the class that includes name of the class, information about the superclass, super interfaces, the fields, methods, constructors, annotations, and so on. Whenever any class is loaded into the JVM, this metadata, this information is kept in a object of java.lang.class associated with the Java class. And the methods of that class like get methods, get fields, get constructors can be used to get all these details at runtime. The question is Java reflection is limited to only this? Answer is no. We can also use Java reflection to load these classes dynamically, create the objects of these classes, find the respective methods or fields in the class, and also invoke them at runtime. You will surprised to know that using this mechanism, we can even access the private members of the class. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about this stuff more practically. Here, I'm planning to implement one simple component like middleware, and this middleware component is going to take inputs like name of the class, name of the method, argument types, and also argument values. With these inputs, this middleware will be capable of calling the given method of the given class at runtime, and whatever is the result, it will return it back to the client. You will understand this better when we do it practically. So now let us go ahead and create a new Java project for implementing such middleware component, and I name it as middleware project. Click on next and finish. In this case, let me create some simple testing class, and this testing class that I'm creating over here is simply arithmetic class. So I'm creating it under com.example package, and name of a class is arithmetic. In this class, I'm going to write couple of simple methods like addition, subtraction. So I'm creating a method integer add method, and it is going to take two arguments, integer a and integer b, and this method will do the addition and return the result. On the parallel line, we can also have another method, let's say subtract, and it will be doing subtraction, and we can also have a method for multiplication, and the method can do it multiplication. I'm just trying to make this method as private, so at the end we will see the demo how we can even invoke the private method of the class at runtime using this reflection technique. But who is my client? My client is more or less main. So I'm just calling it as middleware main function. This is my test class in which I will be calling the middleware, and I will pass the appropriate information. Now, what exactly the information? Let's say that I will write a class called as a middleware, and we'll have a static method invoke. And in the method, I will pass the appropriate information as we discussed earlier. The very first information that I want to pass is name of the class. So I want to call the method of this class, which is arithmetic. Then I want to call a method like add method. As you know that Java support method overloading. So there are likely chances are that for the one name, there can be multiple methods. To identify the method correctly, you must be giving the argument types. So let me give the argument types in terms of the class array. Right now, add method has got two arguments and both are of an integer type. So I'm creating an array and I'm passing this integer dot class, argument 1 type and argument 2 type. And more onto this, I want to also pass the argument values. Now in general, it could be any object. I just want to write a generic middleware. So I'm just making array of objects and I want to pass it. And into this, let me pass a simple values 12 and 4. It is expected that the middleware invoke method will actually execute display add method, and whatever is the result, it will return it back to me. So I will just collect the result, and for time being, let me declare it as an object result. So it could be of any type. I will be able to collect it, and finally I will be able to print that result. But the question is that how do I actually write this component middleware? So here we go. We will be writing a middleware class, new class, and we want to just make it generic so that any class, any method should be called. So we are making it public static invoke method. As we decided, we are passing 4 things. The number 1 thing, which is class name. Number 2 thing, which is method name. Method arguments given in terms of class array. So this is nothing but argument types. And the actual argument values, which is another array, which is argument values. And whatever is the result could be any object. So I'm returning generic result object from here. Now what should be my actual steps? My very first step should be load the given class, because unless and until we have loaded the class, we cannot create its object. So first load the class and create object of class dynamically. So at runtime, without using new operator, using reflection technique, I will be creating object of the class. Obviously, object of the class is required to invoke the instance methods of the class, non-static methods of the class. Now, I want to call the method. Before that, I should be able to find the method. So find the method of given argument types, and then I should be in a position to invoke the method. And once method is invoked, you have to collect the results. Obviously, whatever result that you have collected, you can now return the result. It is so simple, hardly 4 to 5 step process. Getting started with loading the class, we have seen even in the previous part, it can be done by using class.forName. You pass the name of the class and it will return you the corresponding class object. Now, once you got the class object, you want to create object of it at runtime. So there is a method, new instance method, and that will give me the object of that class, loaded class. This method is deprecated from Java 9 onward. In Java 9, they are recommending to make a call to the new instance method of the constructor object instead of calling new instance method directly on the class. Obviously, this particular method will create the object and will be calling parameter-less constructor. To find the method, you can use get declared method. Get declared method, I want to find out the method of the given name and given argument types. So from main, we have called add method with two integer types, and that will give me the method object. This method object I want to invoke on created object m dot invoke on the created object with the given argument values, and it will get me the result which will be obviously of the object type in general, and this result I can return. As we have seen even last time, the class.forName can throw some exception, class not found exception. On the similar line, the new instance, get declared method, invoke, all of them, they can throw some checked exception. Just to keep it simple, I can write a generic catch block at this moment, and in this generic catch block, I will handle the exception. In case of exception, I want to return null value, indicating that it is failed. That's it. That is what all we need to do for writing a generic middleware component which can call any method of given class by creating object of that at runtime. Let us just go ahead, try to invoke this, and you find that yes, 12 plus 4, it is 16. Will it also work for the subtract method? Let me give a try, and you can try to call a subtract method, and even subtract method is a public method, so definitely we can even find the same stuff is will execute further, and 12 minus 4 is nothing but 8. So that is great. What about multiply method? Yes, you can give a try to the multiply method. However, this will not work. Reason being the method is declared private, and you find that this code failed. If you want to take a look at the exception, let us just go ahead and try to print the exception. And this exception very clearly mentions that you are trying to call the private method. So this is not accessible. But earlier in an introduction, I told you that you can call the private method on the class. How it is possible? Well, it is possible. You need to tell JVM that I'm ready. I know that I'm trying to call private, which is not so legal, but this is something I want to do it. And yes, the reflection will allow you to do that by writing set accessible true. Done. With set accessible true, and you try to run your application once again, and now you find that even private methods are accessible. Oh, that is great. But is it only for the user defined classes? Not really. Using this technique, you can call any user defined or predefined class as long as it is into the class path. Let us just go ahead and let us give a try to one more method. So middleware dot invoke. Let me try to call a method of class java.util.date, and name of a method that I want to call is a toString. You know that toString method doesn't take any argument. So argument types, I'm passing it null, and even argument values, I'm keeping it null. And this one is going to return me the result. Let me collect the result, and let me print this result once again. You know that by default, if you are creating java.util.date object and call it toString method, it should show you current system date and time. So run as Java application once again, and you should be able to see that, wow, it is printing me the current date and time of my system. I hope this is quite interesting feature. But well, you may have a question that if I can call the methods straight away directly by creating objects, why we want to do it dynamically? Why we want to do it at this way? Let me tell you guys, this is one of the features which is used in many popular frameworks of Java, and many popular frameworks of Java that includes typically Java EE, or it includes Spring framework or JPA framework. I'll just tell you, typically Java servlet web.xml file contains the name of the servlet, and its object is created at runtime whenever the first request is made to that servlet. So how exactly web server is creating the object of a Java class at runtime? Answer is, it internally use reflection technique class.forName to load the servlet class and class.new instance to create the object. Not only that, the Spring is another popular framework into the Java world, and Spring has got a concept of a dependency injection, constructor based dependency injection, setter based dependency injection, or for that sake direct field initialization as well. And in all these cases, internally the reflection like mechanism is used. Not only that, but typically your JPA entities which might be internally using Hibernate or Eclipse Link, all JPA entities which are loaded at runtime, they are initialized by the JPA provider by using the similar sort of a technique. This knowledge will help you to understand those advanced frameworks in a better way. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you very much.